Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome to today's live reading from Brilliant as the Sun, a retelling of Srimad Bhagavatam. We are reading from Canto 1 at the moment, the Sages of Naimisharanya. We are in chapter 17. Let us begin. Parikshit arrests Kali. This is the title of the chapter. Parikshit encounters Bhumi and Dharma as they are being assailed by Kali, whom he subdues. Besieged by Kali, the king spares him but restricts the area where he may reside. Chapter 17, verses 1 to 20. Soon after Dharma and Bhumi's conversation, Parikshit entered that region. From a distance, he saw a man of blackish complexion, dressed like a king, beating the celestial cow and bull with a stick. As he came closer, he saw the bull was terrified and the cow was crying. Parikshit quickly drew his sword and called out, "Stop, you wretch! You dress like a king, but you act like the lowest of men. How dare you impersonate the royal order and assail helpless creatures under my care? Do you think because Krishna and Arjuna are gone, you can indulge freely in such sin? I am here to break you. Death is the fitting punishment for this vile act." The assailant shrank back from Parikshit, who raised his great sword in readiness to cut him down. Keeping the man in check, Parikshit tried to establish how such a heinous crime had occurred in his kingdom. Turning to the bull, he inquired, "Are you really a bull, or are you a god who has come to foretell the future sufferings of cows and bulls? Never before have I seen anyone who lives under such jurisdiction of the Kuru kings grieve due to lack of a protector." Parikshit glowered at the cowering aggressor. How had he been able to commit such an outrage? It was an unimaginable transgression in a Kuru kingdom. He turned back to Dharma. "O noble bull, give up your dejection. I will ensure your safety." Parikshit then reassured Bhumi, "Dear mother cow, as long as I rule this land, there is no cause for you to cry. Everything will be auspicious for you." Parikshit assured them both their attacker would be punished. A king's prime duty is to protect his citizens from the suffering at the hands of criminals. If I fail in this duty, my reputation, prosperity, and fate in the afterlife will be jeopardized. Therefore, I will kill this monstrous wretch because he has inflicted needless violence on you. Addressing the bull, Parikshit said, "Who is this man who has inflicted so much suffering on you? Do you know his name or where he is from? In the state of the kings obedient to God's law, there is surely no one suffering as you are now. Indeed, until now, no one has shed tears as a result of royal negligence. O bull, I wish you all good. Please identify this villain whose crimes blacken my illustrious forefathers' reputation." Looking toward Kali, the king's tone became menacing. "Whoever causes innocent living beings to suffer must fear me anywhere and everywhere. Any upstart who commits offenses by torturing others shall be uprooted, even if he is a denizen of heaven with armor and decorations. The king's supreme duty is to protect law-abiding persons and chastise miscreants." Dharma replied, "Your words surely befit a descendant of the Pandavas. Captivated by their love and devotion, Sri Krishna himself served as their messenger. What then could they not achieve?" Parikshit kept his sword raised over the cowering Kali as Dharma answered the king's question. "O mighty hero, it is difficult to know who is to blame for my condition, for I am confused by various philosophical views. Some maintain we suffer due to our sins, others contend that nature brings about all miseries as a matter of fact. Some say the self is entirely to blame, and others say there are greater powers at work. Still others suggest it is never possible to know the cause of distress, no matter how hard we try. Please ponder it with your own intelligence, great king, and do what you think is right." Chapter 17, verses 21 to 35. Impressed by his reply, this reply, Parikshit respectfully inquired, "Who are you? You cannot be an ordinary bull, as you understand the deep truths of religion. One who considers another the cause of his suffering is as much an illusion as one who inflicts suffering on others. I think you must be the personality of religion dharma, for no one else could be so sagacious." After deducing the bull's true identity, Parikshit could understand the significance of his 3 broken legs. He said, "Formerly in the golden age of Satya, your 4 legs were established as the 4 principles of austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness." Austerity as well, yeah. "It appears that 3 of your legs were broken over time due to rampant irreligion in the form of pride, lust, and intoxication. You are now standing only the leg of truthfulness." Parikshit glared at the bull's assailant. "This must be Kali, who personifies quarrel and hypocrisy, and under whom deceit flourishes. It appears he wants to destroy truthfulness, the last leg of religion." Parikshit looked with concern at the afflicted Dharma. He knew that while Krishna had been personally present, all 4 of his legs had been restored, but now in the Lord's absence, religion had again deteriorated. Consequently, the earth's burden was increasing. So we can understand that with each subsequent yuga gone, Dharma lost one of its leg. But when Krishna came in Dwapar, all the lost legs were also restored. But now the last leg, which is the truthfulness, was also shaking because of the ascent of Kali. Inspecting the cow carefully, he realized she was Bhumi. She was crying for what awaited her. When lower class men would pose as rulers and abuse her and her children, with great sympathy, he pacified Dharma and Bhumi, then turned toward Kali and drew back his sword. Kali shook with fear. Quickly casting off his royal dress, he fell at Parikshit's feet and begged for his life. "Spare me, I surrender unto you." Kali knew he had no power over a person fully devoted to Krishna. He caught hold of the king's feet in supplication. "Command me, Lord, I am your servant." Parikshit lowered his sword. "I cannot kill a surrendered person, but you must leave my kingdom. If you are allowed to pose as a leader or influence other leaders, irreligion will become rampant. Greed, falsehood, robbery, incivility, treachery, misfortune, cheating, quarrel, and vanity will soon abound." Chapter 17, verses 36 to 37 now. Kali bowed his head and spoke imploringly. "Where shall I live? Your rule extends throughout the entire world. You will hunt me down wherever I go. Still, I am your subject and therefore entitled to your protection. Pray grant me a residence." Parikshit examined the trembling Kali. He knew that Kali's arrival was by divine arrangement. Sometimes the only way a person can be rectified is by receiving natural consequences of his foolishness. Kali's influence would doubtlessly cause iniquity among the people, but the painful results would eventually bring them to their senses. The king also knew the age of Kali provided a unique opportunity for conditioning souls to return to the spiritual world simply by chanting the Lord's holy name. Only those too foolish to take to this process would fall victim to Kali's sway. Chapter 17, verses 38 to 45. Parikshit said, "You may reside in those places where gambling, intoxication, prostitution, and animal slaughter are found." Kali looked dejected. Where in Parikshit's kingdom, which encompassed the entire world, would he find such activities? He begged for somewhere else where he might stay. Parikshit relented. "Very well, you may also live wherever gold is hoarded." Kali thanked the king. Now he had a place to go. Many places gold was greatly coveted throughout the world. Wherever gold was stored, it created a fertile situation for envy, enmity, and other forms of sin to proliferate. Satisfied, Kali backed away from Parikshit and disappeared. When Kali had gone, Parikshit carefully tended to Dharma, again restoring his four legs. The king was confident that while he ruled, Kali would not again attack virtue, even if he influenced the minds of the less intelligent. Parikshit would ensure that they would not be able to follow Kali's dictates. The powerful king vigilantly ruled the world with justice and compassion, ensuring that piety flourished. And thus ends the 17th chapter of Canto 1. Parikshit arrests Kali. We will begin chapter 18 next time. Parikshit cursed. Hariyam Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining me. Hare Krishna.